Hey YouTube, Kieran Mile here. Today I figured I'd put a video on my truck. The first video in a trillion years that I'm putting on YouTube. Just because, I don't know, I feel like it's just a unique kind of truck, interesting, and to people who like these old diesel Fords, they get a kick out of it. So, my truck is right here. It is a 1990 Ford F-250 XLT Lariat. It is the 7.3 IDI with a Banks turbo package. So it has the whole Banks turbo deal, the new air filter box for the Banks turbo, and it had a Banks turbo muffler, but we took it off, we straight piped it about 6 inches behind the cab. Let's see. There it is right there. Just to get a little more power, and because since it's a diesel it doesn't need to be smogged here in California, since it's a diesel below 1997, I mean. And noise restriction wise, I know every cop in the town I live in, so it's not a bad deal. Alright, so this truck was definitely a find. I got this truck in Sacramento, which is about an hour and a half away from St. Helena in Napa Valley where I live. This beast has a few, it's an interesting truck. It was a really rare find, and me and my friends haven't seen anything like it for the price on Craigslist at all since. So it's a 1990, it's the XLT Lariat, so it has power everything. This thing is loaded with every option you could possibly get back in the day, back in 1990. Let's see. Of its interesting mechanical stuff that I'm very grateful for, when I was looking for a truck, I wanted only a diesel, because I just feel that they're the best thing for a large truck that you can get, just because diesels they get such good mileage, turbo diesels at least. Turbo diesel is what I wanted. Turbo diesels just get great mileage, they're really reliable engines, they have incredible torque, they're just very powerful, reliable, simple engines, and I prefer working on them. So I wanted a turbo diesel, and I wanted a manual. So I saw this thing, and I freaked out. This thing has, as I said, the 7.3 IDI in it. Perfect condition engine. It was rebuilt, I think like 150,000 miles ago. So it's still just getting broken in, the engine. And then it has the ZF S542 transmission. So it has the super heavy-duty 5-speed tranny, which is really awesome. And then, since the guy who originally bought it back in the day, he bought it for towing and for a cab over camper. It has tow package, so I have trailer brakes, trailer lights and everything. It has the camper package, so back in here, right there, I have the hookup for fifth wheel lights and brakes, which is pretty sick. And it has the heavy payload package. All this adds up to me having a 1-ton rear end. I have the rear end from a 350. You see the springs down there? Got a trillion leaf springs, and then got relief springs. And then the axle's actually a Ford 1075, and it has limited slip, and the gear ratio is 355, I think. So, I don't know, it was an amazing truck. I got it for $2,700, which surprises everyone when I tell them that, because it's in great condition, has the extended cab, long bed, manual, diesel, super heavy duty rear end, loaded to the brim with every option you could get, and then some aftermarket options like diamond plated steps. They used to come all the way down to the back wheel, and they had a fender on the back and the front, and I thought it looked bad, so I took them off. But yeah, no, it was a great truck. Thing's 4-wheel drive. Before I got it, the guy replaced all the shocks. It has Rancho RS 5000 shocks on it. What I've done suspension-wise with this truck, I have put add-a-leafs in the front, rough country add-a-leafs, and that's why you see the leaf springs stick out about 20 feet from the front of my truck. It was really sagging in the front from having a heavy-duty diesel over it for all that time. So I just figured that'd be the first thing I wanted to do. Let's see here. So there's that huge ass rear end. This truck has dual tanks, so I got 37 gallons worth of fuel that I could put in, which I never will, because that'll be about $160 worth of diesel, and I will never pay that for diesel. Exterior, I don't know, wasn't in the best condition when I got it. There's no clear coat barely on any of the truck. Kind of peeled off everywhere. It must have been by the ocean or something like that. Yeah, let me just open her up and I'll get the engine shown real quick. So, yeah, I added that rough country, the IDI system. I've done a bunch of shit to this since I got it. I got it about 5 months ago. And it has a 5-digit odometer, so when I got it I didn't know how much mileage it had on it, but still figured it would be worth it, and it definitely was. There we go, there's the engine. Little thing that says Banks Turbo right there on the top hat. Alright. Let me think, what else? This engine's huge. I've replaced the oil in it, and it takes a little under 3 gallons of oil. I've replaced the coolant, and it takes a little under 8 gallons of coolant. So, definitely takes a shitload. Air conditioning it has, obviously, all loaded to the brim, as I said. R12, and I got that recharged with actual R12, so I have freezing cold air, which is awesome. Among things I've done to this, it has a K&N filter, so I've cleaned the filter, changed the oil a few times, obviously, coolant. I have changed the starter in it because the starter was going out. Put 2 new batteries in it. That was a nice $300 for 2 new giant batteries. Let's see, what else have I done? Well, I have adjusted the injection pump. I actually brought it down a half a flat. The injection pumps are down in there. Brought it down half a flat because it was smoking a lot for the power it was getting. So I figured, hell, I'll bring it down a little bit and should make it smoke a little bit less, use its diesel a little more efficiently. The black smoke thing was nice and fun for the first few months, but when it started hitting my pocket hard, that's when I realized, alright, we got to figure out a more efficient way to do this. Oh yeah, and I replaced the coolant, as you can see down in there, the red. It is extended life coolant, so it's good for diesels, the whole cavitation theory thing. It's all safe. It had green coolant in it when I got it, but they say that as long as it's still running good, it's not leaking anywhere, that means you're in the blue. You just do it as soon as you can, so I did. Let me think. So yeah, straight piped it, and that was another thing I did. I'm planning on doing propane injection for this truck, just to, because it's still black smokes uphill, and I go up a hill to Anglin, which is a mountain town we have right near us, all the time. So going up that hill, it's really lugging a little bit sometimes, and all that black smoke is just a good amount of my diesel wasted. So propane's a catalyst for diesel, so throw that into the mixture, just a few psi of propane into the intake, and that'll get you going. Give you a good amount more horsepower, more torque, and more miles per gallon, which is always a bonus in that case. Alright, so look at the interior real quick. As I said, this truck's loaded. It had the bucket seat option, had a center console. I took it out, I put the sub in. I'll play that in a little bit. Let me think, what else? So I put the little Banks sticker on there, had to represent the Banks, because there's not a lot of the Banks Turbo 7.3 IDIs of this year going around. Since I had the Banks kit, it came complete with the Banks exhaust temperature EGT gauge and a turbo boost gauge, which are pretty sweet. I wanted them in the diesel I got, and I was so excited when I got in the first time to this. When the man was showing it, just because I realized I didn't have to put them in on my own. I didn't want it. It's a pain in the ass. Among other things I've done, put a little CB radio in here. I've got a Wilson, Lil Will antenna on the roof, magnetic. Got booted on top. I don't know why. Just found him somewhere and put it up on there. Alright, I replaced the stereo system. I have a Boss Audio head unit.